but I think it is a way to get out, get some fresh air. It's an activity that's really easily you can do by social distancing. Um, so it's safe. Um, and so for me, it's more of a way to kind of get some exercise and sort of try to maintain some sort of mental health, just because there's so much unknown with the pandemic.
Biking in the pandemic has kind of created this new sense of freedom for people. People have kind of turned it into a new recreational sport that they might not have used to do, but they are now, kind of because of the pandemic and because they have more free time. And so it's helped a lot of people kind of just maintain their kind of sanity. While they can't go out into public, they can still go out and like do biking and kind of maintain a sense of wellness for themselves.
Work looks different, relationships look different. A lot of other things that I used to do, I can't do now. So biking has been one of those things that I've been able to keep doing, keep moving, and yeah. So just kind of a stress reliever, self-care. I think it's turned more into that now during the pandemic than it was before.
I don't know. I think with the pandemic, it feels a little bit like you start feeling a little closed up in the house or claustrophobic, or you get tired of the people that you're quarantined with. And so getting outside and getting on the trails, I think, is helpful just in terms of your mindset.
I see people outside on their bikes all the time, and people, every time I drive by Port Johns, there's a buttload of people out there. There's just people walking around, which, like I said, is double-edged sword. Like when I go to the new trails at City Lake, there's always a ton of cars there, and there's people having birthday parties. There's just people out like there used to be. So people are more present, I think, physically, but also like I find that people want to talk more. People are getting that like human interaction they're getting at work, maybe, and so I think they're also like less likely to be like just glued to their phone, and maybe they are more like present.
One of the things that always does my mind good is to get outside and be out in nature, and it is very helpful. Like, I think of gardening as the same sort of thing, but also biking is just fun. Like, it feels like biking, even as an adult, feels like it did when I was a kid. And when you're a kid and you get on a bike, you feel like you're free, and I feel that same way as an adult. And so just in terms of mental health, I think it helps your mind to feel a little more free as well. And then just being out in nature is helpful.
Since the pandemic started, we've had to kind of create something new for ourselves. And life that we saw before isn't exactly the same as it is going to be now. And we kind of have to create this new normal that nobody's used to, but it's going to become our new sense of living in this world. And I think that biking has been a major part of that.
So I've been able to pick up some different hobbies. I've been able to do some things that I typically weren't able to do. So I'm thankful for those opportunities, but at the same time, I also miss opportunities that I had that I no longer have. So I think it kind of goes back to that mindset of like, how do you take care of yourself normally, and then how do you take care of yourself in the middle of just a lot of uncertainty.
There's people who like to ride bikes for the pure competition of it. There's people who have to do that every day for their transportation. There's people who that's their only way that they really like to stay fit. There's people that don't ride bikes, they just like to work on bikes, and there's people that use it as kind of a mental release, just to go out there and just be busy. And I think all of these people have been impacted. Those groups have gone up and down, but I think there probably are some people that have needed to blow off some steam that have probably done that on a bike.
Just the amount of people is pretty amazing that you see outdoors. I mean, just driving across town, you'll see 3 times more people outside than you did before. And so that is a pretty good thing.
whether it be by yourself, whether it be with your family, whether it be with friends, just because being on two bikes, you can't be super close together. But I think everybody's sort of looking for a way to kind of maintain their sanity and sort of ride the emotional roller coaster that this pandemic has us all in. And I think biking's a great avenue to, one, get exercise, and two, get out in nature. Because I think both of those things, moving and then also sort of just being in nature, both are really good just for the human experience.